Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me today on another video, and today's video is the automotive news, rumors, and roundups of this week. And we have a lot of information this week because the LA Auto Show is about to start and the press events have already started, I believe so. So let's get right into this week's news. Starting off, we have some news from Tesla. So the Tesla semi-truck has been getting quite a lot of traction as large companies have decided to give them a test run. So here's a list of companies that have already put down deposits for these trucks. So we have Walmart, who's put down a deposit for 15 trucks. Loblaws, a Canadian grocery store, has put down a deposit for 25 trucks. DHL has asked for 10 trucks as well and put down a deposit. We have JB Hunt, the trucking giant, and they're rumored to have placed an order for 40 semi-trucks from Tesla. And the American chain grocery store Meijer has also placed an order for 4 Tesla semi-trucks. Most of these companies seem to be dipping their toes into the water before fully jumping into the electric semi-pool. It will take some time for companies to adjust to this new type of charging time and the range limitations that come with these electric semi-trucks, so I'm guessing they're giving it a go and just finding out what needs to be done with a trial and error basis. And that way they'll be able to shape up their supply chain to work with these electric vehicles if they do find it feasible. Number 2, we have some news from Mercedes-Benz. So Mercedes-Benz has launched their new CLS class this week at the LA Auto Show. So initially it was leaked a few days before it was officially revealed. And for the first time, Mercedes-Benz has introduced a brand new inline 6-cylinder engine, which will be debuting in the CLS. The CLS is a very unique design language from what most of Mercedes cars are, so it's very different from what the C-Class, E-Class, and S-Class are, and it has a very aggressive design, and it's supposed to appeal to the younger and more edgy people out there. The main focus of the CLS from the press release seems to be the safety features that it borrows from the S-Class, so it's a very safe car, and it has all the newest tech, just barring the autonomous driving tech. It does have the highway radar-guided cruise control, but no full autonomy like Tesla yet. So moving on, we have some news from Subaru. Subaru has finally revealed their 3-row midsize SUV named the Ascent. This is the first third-row midsize SUV that Subaru has ever made, and it's a very popular market that they've never really tapped in the past. Subaru never had a 3-row SUV and was missing out on these potential sales from this market, and now they've decided that they want a piece of the action. So the Ascent SUV is going to be released as a 2019 model year, so it's safe to assume at this point that we won't be seeing this car hit the showroom floors until the third quarter of 2018, or at least in late summer of 2018. So moving on, we have some news from Kia. So Kia has been pushing their brand new Stinger very much, and they've designed the car to be an enthusiast's dream, and they've listened to every input that enthusiasts had to say, and they've made everything about it enthusiast friendly. With this new enthusiast friendly car, they're pushing it quickly as possible into many markets, and India was a planned market for Kia. However, Kia has decided not to sell the Stinger in India because of the high cost of entry. The Indian government imposes a heavy tax on any vehicle that's imported from another country, and the absence of any Kia network currently in India has dissuaded Kia from releasing the Stinger as their first vehicle to test the waters. They want to make a bang in India, so they're focusing on smaller vehicles that they can produce locally so that they can competitively get into the market and face the rivals such as Suzuki and Hyundai in India. Moving on, we have some news from Mazda. So Mazda is reportedly working on a new midsize crossover that will be replacing the older generation CX-7. And this SUV is slated to fit right in between the CX-5 and CX-9 and fill the gap that is currently there within their lineup. This SUV is still in pre-production. It's still in the planning stages, so don't expect to see it anytime soon. In fact, the estimated rumored dates are in 2021 or 2022 is when we'll be seeing this new SUV from Mazda. Some more Mazda news, and this time is the Mazda 6. So Mazda has just refreshed the Mazda 6 to look a lot better from the inside and to provide a much needed engine boost that was missing and a lot of people complained about. So Mazda has upgraded the engine to a turbocharged unit from the CX-9, and this is going to make a lot more power and make the Mazda 6 feel a lot more sporty. However, Mazda will not be providing this turbocharged engine with a manual transmission, which enthusiasts wanted. However, Mazda has said that the demand is just not there for them to work on a manual transmission with the turbo engine. However, the manual transmission is still available. It's just not going to be available with the turbocharged engine option. And the interior is a very big focus for the Mazda 6, and the interior has been revamped in quality, and it looks a lot better than its rivals, and it's focusing on grabbing the luxurious side of this market. So moving on, we have some news from GM. So some leaked GM documents are now showing that the new generation Corvette, the mid-engine Corvette that everybody has been seen running around in those mules and the heavily camouflaged body, it's reported to be making 850 horsepower. Now, that's a really big number, considering that their current ZR1, the King of the Hill, is making somewhere in the high 700s. So that's a very decent bump, and this is just going to be the base model mid-engine Corvette. And I am fairly certain that as time goes on, we'll be getting a lot more performance-oriented Corvettes as well, which will probably take the horsepower figure to an even more ridiculous number. And this boost in power is going to be achieved through turbochargers, so it is looking like even Corvettes are going to be shifting from naturally aspirated to forced induction to meet the power and consumption standards that have been going around the world. So some more GM news with the 2019 Corvette ZR1. So we finally have word on the official pricing, and the base coupe will start at $119,000 and $995. So that's $120,000 if you don't want to look at that $5 price gap. And the convertible will start from $123,995, which is also not that bad of a gap, considering that the convertible gives you that flexibility of a convertible roof, and it's only a $4,000 difference. The weight difference is set to be 60 pounds here, which is, again, very impressive for a car with a convertible top. However, these prices are for the base model, and we still don't have word on what the options list will look like and what kind of cost those will be associated with. So I'm guessing that a decently spec'd mid-level Corvette ZR1 is probably going to cost you anywhere from $130,000 to $135,000, and I'm guessing it might even go up as far as $150,000 for a fully loaded and highest spec Corvette ZR1. And rounding off the news this week, we have some news out of Lincoln. So Lincoln has finally decided to rename their MKX SUV to the Nautilus. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, but it is a animal. It's named after an animal, and Lincoln has finally decided to give their dreaded and boring MKX a fresh update to make it look better and to compete more with the current lineup of SUVs out there. Now, the Nautilus is supposed to be a kind of new trend for Lincoln, as they're going to be moving towards a little bit of a new design, as well as that new naming pattern that's most likely going to continue on with your other cars as well, because the current naming pattern, the MKX, MKZ, MKC, very confusing, and honestly, I feel like I associate the same car whenever I think of any of these MKC, MKC, MKX, whatever. It's just such a confusing nomenclature, and I'm glad that Lincoln is finally moving away from it and deciding to give their cars a little bit more of a unique naming structure. Now, this car is set to be a 2019 release, so you're going to be seeing it anywhere around the mid-2018 or end of 2018. And one of the defining factors of this new Nautilus is going to be the new grille design that imposes the single grille instead of the dual split grilles that all the Lincolns had till now, and it also includes the larger logo of Lincoln. So that was it for this week's automotive news, guys. Let me know what you thought about this segment, and if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down, but please let me know what you didn't like so I can improve in the next week's segment. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. A lot more content is coming, and I have this new schedule which you guys can check out on my Twitter page. Follow me on social media. I have all the links down below. I update all the behind the scenes stuff and just random day-to-day things that I'm doing, all in the description below. Be sure to check that out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.